there, floorball fans. Carl here. Hope you're enjoying your long weekend. Happy Easter or Passover and Eid, Ramadan. I'm sorry, I should know. Anyways, hope you're enjoying your long weekend. Just wanted to hop on and provide the longer video explanation of our new free hit design as promised. So first of all, shout out to Eileen. This is based off of your dark side jersey design from like 2014, 2015. I know we've talked about this, but yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Eileen's been on the floorball scene in Canada forever, basically since the beginning. And when I first came on, she showed up, and Darkside was a longtime competitor, and I don't remember exactly what Yuha was talking to her about, but basically there was something about the pricing going up, being at Mattamy, aka the Coca-Cola, aka Maple Leaf Gardens. And yeah, so she was like, well, our jerseys are a little different this year. And it turns out it was basically she had done a spray paint design with dark side in almost tape, and the numbers on the back were like an outline that she had spray painted around. I know she had done it to kind of make a point but also be economical, but to me they looked great and also kind of exemplified the whole like floorball is inexpensive sell that was very, very big at the time. And I'm sorry, I'm moving my camera. This is just real close. But yeah, so when I started IBK, I started thinking about big ideas. A mentor of mine mentioned them and like kind of having something to do, and that's how Free Hit came about, for those of you who don't know. And yeah, this has been sitting almost as long as I've had Free Hit. So to give I'm going to explain the design first, and then I'll explain the concept. So the design is based off of Eileen's Dark Side kind of look. I'll show you the back of the shirt here to give you a better idea. So like the kind of, it's hard to see in this lighting, but the spray painted kind of outline kind of gives almost a neon sign kind of look, like a real bad dive bar in downtown Toronto, which is where Canada Cup used to happen all the time. So fits the scene, so to speak. And then yeah, kind of rolling off of that neon sign thing, I was like, especially early on in the days of IBK and what became Free Hit, I had a lot of like, what if I won $1 million type of thing, or, you know, what would you do with floorball in Canada? And it almost seemed appropriate, the way Canada Cup was, is to have like a floorball bar that you could go to and watch only floorball at. And the whole concept is basically like during World Championships and U19s, there's 16 beers on tap, and they one from each country that's competing in the World Championships. So you'd have to change everything out based on who was competing and the like. So, you know, the U19s bring around some different and more non-traditional countries like Canada or the US, or even the Oceanic countries, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Japan, Thailand, all of that. And yeah, so kind of this idea was born of a floorball bar, and what do you call it? And I think one of the interesting things to me about floorball has always been kind of like I don't want to say disconnect, because there isn't a disconnect. It's not that. It's just kind of like the almost lost in translation that happens between some of the things that go on, and the very North American way of explaining things in a way we know how versus like what they actually mean. So almost everybody who plays floorball on this side of the Atlantic um, talks about their curve or what hand they shoot, their right or their left. And, like I like a lot of curve or no curve, or I like a soft blade and this and that. And those things are transferable definitely to Europe. But when you say curve, they don't, it doesn't translate exactly, and it's hook. Um, so yeah, out of talking to a couple Europeans, getting to know the game from the refs, who we'll get back to later. Not in this video, but yeah, don't worry, refs matter too. um, yeah, so the whole like maybe miscommunication, I think, is a better term, or lost in translation. But yeah, they call it their hook, and they talk about how much or how not. And yeah, so what's a better idea for a floorball bar in North America than the hook stick? So I'm gonna try and do this right. There she is, the neon sign for the dive bar that is floorball in Toronto. This is more just on the back here. This is a very faded hook. Kind of a throwback to the numbers of Eileen's original design. But yeah, that's kind of the concept behind it. As we move forward with this design and the marketing and everything that kind of goes with it, there's going to be more explanations, but also more ideas of the concept moving forward. Because it's definitely a concept. It's not like I'm not sitting on a bar somewhere. If I was, I'd tell you all. Trust me. Uh, but the idea of like the possibility, I think that's always one of the things about floorball that's attracted me to the sport, is kind of like you don't know what the future holds, because it can be super bright, and super progressive. I don't know if that's the right word, but the idea of a sport that's all welcoming, but also like very like we have our rules and we have our ways of doing things. And I think that a sport in that manner can be both, but you have to have different avenues of navigating that. And so this would be one of them, at least here in North America. I'm sure these places exist in Europe. I've just never been to them because, small town Ontario boy. But, well, not small, but you get what I'm saying. Anyways, yeah, this is the long overdue explanation of the hook stick and kind of the concept behind it and why the design has taken so long. So we'll get into the design more, and I think I've done this out of order. But yeah, so the hardest part was the neon of it. So like this is as big as my head, so we'll do it this way. But yeah, kind of like how it's glowing. That I knew how that would look. The glow was the spray paint. I got that from Eileen. It was executing the actual like this is a word, and this is also a word that's recognizable and can be seen. And when going to make these shirts initially, almost a year and a half, 2 years ago, getting that or even that was not happening for a multitude of reasons. I worked with multiple people on this in terms of trying to make it happen, almost exclusively within the floorball community, because that's how, especially with free hit and IBK, that's always how I've tried to do things. Is if there's someone who can help me do something like this, then I'll go that route. Or if it's outside of the floorball community, I'd still like it to be someone I know can help grow their business or whatever. Not that I have a million followers, but I think the exchange of almost a bartering kind of like thing where it's like I can do this for you and you can do this for me and we help each other, that's better for everybody than, here's $50, go make me a thing that you have no investment in. So that's where this comes from. So again, huge credit to Eileen, and thank you for letting me do this, because if you had told me to F off or go to hell, I would have been like, you know what, that's fair. You created this, you should, be able to have it mean something. So yeah, that's the kind of story, and I would love for questions and comments. Not sure I'm gonna get any, but that's okay. But yeah, this is being recorded on April 9th. I will be in Belleville on the 15th, which is 6 days from now. For those of you who can't do the math, I'm one of them. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of these. Well, not a lot. Hopefully a lot. I'm doing this all out of my basement, as you can see, with this little thing. Check out my TikTok if you want more clarification on this. But yeah, this has been something that's been a long time coming. And if it ever actually becomes a reality, if you like this video, I will come back to this, and 5, 10, 15 years from now, your first drink is on the house. So yeah, thanks to everybody for watching. Hopefully you like the idea and the design and the concept, and we can make this more than just an idea, because I think this type of thing would be good for the culture. But yeah, thanks, and see you all on Saturday, Sunday. I can't even get this right no matter what I do. So yeah.